You alright guys, this is Mattstrats. I'm here today with another gaming review. So what we're going to be looking at today is God of War Ascension. Now, obviously I'm going to give you my honest opinion of what I think about the game, how it's played, and what I've enjoyed and what I haven't enjoyed. And on the end, I'll give an overall rating of it. So, before we get into that, I'm going to mention the fact that there are little black lines down the sides, as you can probably see, and around the top. I think do you know when it asks you to do the dimensions when you're setting the screen? I think I may have just nudged it off like by a tad. So I do apologise. So you may get like a little bit of a cinema effect. So just pretend you're at the pictures and that you're watching a film, okay? Thank you very much. So, now I'm obviously going to do the review. What we're going to be looking at are different aspects of it. Similar to the Tomb Raider one, we're going to be looking at the gameplay, how it handles, the story mode. We're going to be looking. That's the paper rattling in the background. Sorry. We're going to be looking at the handling itself, the characters, the longevity, and multiplayer aspects. And then at the end, I'm going to give you an overall rating of what I found. So to start with, we're going to be looking at gameplay. Now, what I mean by gameplay is how does it play? Is it nice to look at? Is the audio good? Are the character developments good? So that sort of aspect. So to start with the graphics, it is a very smooth looking game. There's not many clunky parts in it. The enemies they're all different. The only problem I have with the enemies is when you're hitting someone, if they're charging up an attack, you can't stun them to knock them off an attack. They're going to do that attack no matter what. Now, when the roles are reversed and you're doing a move, and they come in, they can hit you and stun you. So, again, it'd be better if obviously I could stun them before they hit me. Other than that, it's a constant block and dodge sort of movement. But other than that, it does handle really well. You're gonna get, like I said, the nice vibrant colours. It's very good imagery. The scenery around the places that you venture, excellent. They are really good. It's been took a lot of time, by the looks of things, doing it visually. That's a visual aspect. They've taken a lot of time with that and the design of the scenery. So it's a really nice game to look at. It handles fairly well. I'm going to lump this in. Obviously, handling I did separately. I'm going to put this with the gameplay. It handles fairly well. There's nothing clunky. It's nice and smooth. The only problem I have is with the camera angles. Now, sometimes you'll get camera angles when you're running afar, and they will look like a top-down view, and it is very difficult when you're fighting to see far away as you're trying to kill someone, because obviously everything else is moving farther away. The camera's panning outwards, so you don't actually get to see what you're fighting. So that's the only aspect I have with it, and it's a bit difficult. Other than that, jumping, scaling buildings, it's all really easy. The very, very little time have I jumped backwards and fallen off the cliff, so and nothing to worry about there. You've got the brutal kills that they always have in with the God of War series. So obviously once you've killed them, or you beat them to a point where you can do your finisher, there's different finishers. There's not as many finishers as I would have liked, and there's not that much of a variation on the finishers like there used to be, but they are still there, and obviously it's a bloody gory game, and if you were expecting anything different from the God of War series, then obviously we won't get that, because they've obviously built on what they did in the last three games, and the sort of fighting aspect and the controls with the fighting system exactly the same. A lot of the moves actually repeated. So other than that, apart from the camera angles, it does play really well. Like I said, the gameplay aspect is really good. It's really good. The story is the next thing we'll look at. Now, obviously if you played the last three, you know where the story is going to go. I wasn't entirely happy with the story, but we'll get to that in a second. So in the first three, as you probably are well aware, but if you're not sure, you'll become Kratos, and you'll find out how he becomes the God of War. So you kill Ares in the first one, then you take his throne. In the second one, you get like cast away from Olympus, and then obviously you've got to try and get back and overthrow Zeus and the gods. And obviously the second one is leading up to getting the strength to do that. And on the third one, you then go face Zeus and take down the other gods. So there's the storyline from the last three ones, like the first three games in like a nutshell. So obviously the fourth one that's happened now, the Ascension, God of War Ascension, you're looking at how he became Kratos, the fighter that you were actually playing in the first one. So as you can imagine, you can't actually fight any gods really, because you're going to kill them later on in the storyline. You know, in the next, I'm going to put this in inverted commas, in the next 3 games. So obviously you can't kill any gods. So they decided to put like the Furies, I think it is, or the Fates. I'm not happy. I wasn't happy with it, to be honest, because the storyline is very loose. It's based around you forgetting your memories and the fact that you don't have any memories, and you need to try and stop yourself from dissolving into madness, basically. And descending into madness, just say. Didn't like that at all. Didn't really work. It wasn't a strong storyline, and I didn't really feel like we were developing with the character at all. So, on a storyline point of view, I didn't enjoy it. I think they could have done a lot better with actually creating a story for Kratos to actually be a part of. So yeah, story aspect I'm not entirely sold on. Obviously the handling we've covered. The character development, again, it's Kratos, so obviously you're gonna get he doesn't speak much and he's just full of vengeance, and it's obviously just showing how he becomes that sort of guy. So that's not changed at all. The characters, again, you don't meet many that you really talk to, like in Tomb Raider. Obviously it's a completely different style of game, but the characters were there as a character development, and as you play the game the characters developed. You don't really get that with Kratos. I mean, you do find that he's a bit more of a sentimental sort, not sentimental, wrong word. He has a bit more, should we say, humanity about him. There's more of a human aspect to him, but other than that you don't really get to see much of Kratos apart from the vengeful side. The next thing I'm going to talk about is longevity. Now, is there a replay value? Now, there is a replay value in the sense that you can go back through and collect all the hidden icons. Different, like if you played in the third one, there was hidden artifacts within the game, and you pick them up, and then you can play the second run through. You can use these artifacts and enhance the game and change the game to however you want. For example, there's one that makes you take a third less damage. There's one that collects 10 times more orbs. It's stuff like that. So you can actually replay and get orbs, and if you're after trophies and achievements, well, trophies for this one because it's not an Xbox, it is really good obviously to get those sort of artifacts and play through again, because again you'll max out your skills really quickly and you'll be able to get those trophies that you need. So in that aspect there is a replay value. Other than that, not so much for me. Other than the multiplayer, which I'm going to get onto in a little bit, there's not much of a, like I said, the storyline wasn't good enough to replay it twice, so I don't think there's much of a replay value. So, even if you are like a trophy whore, again, it's not something that I'd want to platinum, to be honest. I didn't enjoy it that much to want to play it a second time. Not like I did the third one. The third one I enjoyed a lot more than this one. Obviously, because you're fighting gods. Because you're not fighting gods, it just takes that element away. It just takes that aspect, and it's not as good as a game as it should be. So the last thing I'm going to talk about is the multiplayer. Now, if you're watching the screen right now, which you should be, you're going to see multiplayer happening now, and I thought I'd throw this in just to show you guys what the multiplayer is about. It's not bad, to be honest. You'd expect it to be. Obviously, it's not going to be a shoot 'em up, and it's not going to be a puzzle finding sort of thing. Basically, it's an arena full of people, and you're going to kill each other. Now, there's different modes you can go on. There's like a free-for-all, so every man for themselves. There is a 2v2, and there's also a 4v4. There's a capture the flag, and there's also a time trial, which you can either do on your own or as part of a co-op. Now, I like these, to be honest, and again, the characters that you play, they are fully customizable. You can unlock different traits. The character development in this sense, like you can customize your own characters. Some of the aspects that you can upgrade and whatnot, they are a little bit confusing, and obviously you're going to have to play it a while to understand what each aspect and what each individual each individual perk can do for you, because again I wasn't 100% sure about what to spec into, basically. But it is fun. I mean, if you're just wanting to kill half an hour and you think, oh, I wouldn't mind playing, it is such good fun, because you don't need to be overly skilled at it, provided you know how to block and you know how to dodge and parry. You'll be fine, really. I mean, and it is kind of good. The only problem I have is the matchmaking system at the moment with the games. There's a lot of people that seem to just drop out of games really quickly, so you don't always find the game you're after. And I do worry about whether or not people are going to play it when time goes by, because it's not like a COD, so you're not going to know that people are going to be on it in a couple of weeks' time. The servers may get quite empty, so you might be looking for a game and you might not get many people to play with. But other than that, it is, like I say, it is a really good game just to have a little play with. So my overall score and a summary of God of War Ascension. In my opinion, it is a good game to play through, but you're not going to play it more than once. It's not worth buying it brand new, like I did. It's not worth that £40 price tag. It's not even worth the extra DLC, because again, I've not noticed anything with the DLC, so it's not worth that either, in my opinion. But what it is a good game to pick up and play when it comes down in price. So if you get it for 20 quid, again, I'd get it just because it's fairly good for a playthrough once. I'm gonna give it it's between a 6.5 and a 7 out of 10. Just because, I mean, the last God of War was brilliant. This one, I just think they've took the foot off the gas a little bit and the pace has slowed down. So, if you're happy just going around brutally killing people, this is a game that you want to buy. Other than that, let it come down in price. Yeah, 7 out of 10. I hope you enjoyed this, guys. I'll see you later.